So we had some technical difficulties. The first attempt we did at starting this stream, but I think we're good now. So we are getting set for Switzerland versus Canada in what they are calling the biggest game in the history of Canadian soccer. And it would be soccer if you live in Canada, but football in most other parts of the world. But in any case, we are here live with our watch-along commentary coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I'm just trying to get the feed up here as we speak. And again, we can't play any of the audio of the actual broadcast, very obviously because of copyright and things like that. But we are here with our take on things, with our perspective, and with our live commentary of this World Cup match, which again, they are calling the biggest in Canadian soccer history. So a bit of context here. This is Group B of the 2026 World Cup. Canada come into this match first in Group B, which is a shocker to some people. These two teams are tied on points, Canada and Switzerland. They both won their last match. They both drew their opening match, but Canada had quite a dominant victory over Qatar some days ago when they defeated them 6-0. A 6-0 win over Qatar, propelling Canada to the top of the group, and they will hope to stay atop the group. However, they're going to face a more difficult opponent, a tougher challenge today as they go up against Switzerland. The match is taking place at BC Place in Vancouver. Host nation staying within their nation as they host, as they continue to play through the this historic World Cup. And Canada has qualified for the World Cup 3 times before, or 3 times including now. And that was 1986, 2022, and 2026. But in 2026, they qualified off of hosting. This is, I believe, the Qatar game was their first victory in the World Cup in the history of their team. So very big things happening for Canada, and we're about 13 minutes away from kickoff. 3 p.m. Eastern Time is when this game is set to begin, and we are broadcasting live on Eastern Time from the Ultrasport Studios in Orlando, Florida. About 12 minutes to go, and we're glad to have you with us here for World Cup coverage. In other news, we're going to just take a look around the matchups today for the World Cup. Bosnia and Herzegovina are set to take on Qatar at the same time as Switzerland play Canada, but we're going to be focusing, that's also a Group B match. We're going to be focusing on the Switzerland-Canada game. Morocco play Haiti, and Scotland play Brazil in Group C. And then later on tonight, Group A will finish up with South Africa versus South Korea, and Czechia, the Czech Republic, taking on Mexico. So, just a few minutes away from the start of this one. And we hope that many will join us for our coverage here. And again, Group B here, we're just kind of waiting for this one to get underway. I apologize if there's a bit of dead air. I'm gonna send out a post on X here, see if we can get some more people to come in and watch this live coverage that we have for you. Excuse me. There we go. And again, you'll see the QR code in the middle of the screen there. You can send super chats. We want to hear your opinion. We want you to make your voices heard as we bring you live coverage of this Group C match. We're about 10 minutes away from the start, and let's take a look at yesterday's games. See the results from there as we wait for the sides to walk out and begin the action here today. Portugal with a 5-0 win over Uzbekistan yesterday. England drew 0-0 against Ghana. Croatia with a 1-0 win against Panama. And Colombia defeating DR Congo 1-0 as well. Switzerland and Canada opening today's action along with Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar. 6 matches today, which I believe is the most matches there have been on one day of this World Cup. We're going to see the same thing tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. They're really packing in the action in these last few days of the group stage. Round of 32 gets underway on Sunday afternoon with a standalone game. And then the action will continue on Monday. There's 3 games there. Germany, Mexico, and the USA. They know where they're going to be. They've won their groups. But today we're going to see, we're going to get more into who will be going where, so to speak. Because these things are determined, and I'm just going to pull up the bracket on my laptop. There's an Argentina know where they're going as well. They'll be playing on the 3rd of July. Germany will take on the 3rd place side in Group A, B, C, D, or F. The United States will take on the 3rd place team in Group B, E, F, I, or J. Mexico will take on the 3rd place team in Group C, E, F, H, or I. And Argentina will take on whoever places 2nd in Group H. And this is, they determined this beforehand. Gianni Infantino would know more about it, a lot more about it than I do. But as we speak, the 2 sides are making their way out onto the pitch at BC Place. So we're going to turn our attention to the action now. The flags are out on the pitch, and out they come. Switzerland versus Canada in Group C of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Glad to have you with us here today as we bring you our live commentary coverage. And we are going to go silent in a matter of moments for the national anthems. Again, we can't play any of the audio on this due to copyright reasons, but we will have our... It's like listening to something on the radio. We'll have live commentary and reactions as Switzerland take on Canada here in the first match of the day in the FIFA World Cup. So the teams have made their way out, and it doesn't seem like there's any commentary on Fox. Maybe that's intentional, but the teams have made their way out. They're still playing the theme, and now we are ready. We will pause for the national anthems. Swiss national anthem complete. Now we pause once again for O Canada, which I imagine will be sung with great passion and pride by this crowd here at BC Place. And indeed being sung with great fervor by the crowd here at Vancouver. An entire nation really watching on as this Canadian side takes the pitch against Switzerland, coming off their first World Cup win in history against Qatar a few days ago, 6-0. So as the final few notes of O Canada ring out, and I know I said I wouldn't talk during the anthems, but we don't want to have that much dead air. And the anthem's now concluded. We get set for action. Fox will go to a commercial break, during which we will presumably have the coin toss. I don't know why they don't show the coin toss on Fox. That's something I've noticed watching the American broadcast of the match, that they don't show the coin toss. But we're about 3 minutes away from kickoff here, and we are glad to have you with us today as Canada take on Switzerland. A look again, excuse me, might be getting a bit sick. A look again at today's slate of matches. We've got Switzerland and Canada set to get underway momentarily here, as well as Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar. That's the other 3 p.m. game taking place today. Morocco battle Haiti at 6 p.m. Eastern, as well as Scotland and Brazil in Miami, which I imagine is one of the more anticipated matches today. South Africa take on South Korea, as Czechia take on Mexico. Group A action starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. Groups A, B, and C all finishing up their action today. We will see E, F, and D be determined tomorrow. United States versus Turkey, one to watch there. Groups I, H, and G on Friday. Norway versus France. Holland versus Mbappe. That's one to watch there. And then we finish up with groups L, K, and J on June 27th on Saturday. So from BC Place, we're almost ready to get underway, and Ramon Abadi from Brazil is the head official today for this Switzerland-Canada match. And the thing I said about them not showing the coin toss, that might be proven false in a matter of moments here, because they are showing, they're going to show, well, they're going to cut away to a shot of the VAR room, but it is what it is. We are almost ready to get underway. Vancouver Stadium, which I suppose it's really called BC Place. Vancouver Stadium is what I imagine FIFA would call it. A complete sea of red here. Switzerland will line up in a 4-1-2-3. Granit Xhaka, the captain here, as Gregor Kobel is in goal. Murat Yakin is the head coach for the Swiss. And I mentioned just now the sea of red for BC Place. And you might say, oh, some of them could be Swiss fans as well. We're in Canada. We're in Vancouver. And Canada, which has never been thought of as a country that plays soccer, that plays football, now is achieving success, and we're going to see if they can really upset Switzerland here today. Switzerland, they're not the most successful team in the world or in Europe, but it is still going to be a massive, massive upset if Canada can come away with the win today against the Swiss. And again, an entire nation watching on here today, I imagine. It is for Canada, I mean, as well as Switzerland, but this is rarefied air. This is something that Canada is not used to. They just got their first win in World Cup history when they defeated Qatar 6-0. And now we are almost ready to go. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. 12 p.m., I believe, in Vancouver. Referee Abadi getting set for the opening whistle. Away we go. Canada in white, Switzerland in red. Group C action. The final match day of the group stage of Group C. We're underway in Vancouver. Glad to have you with us here on Ultrasport as we bring you our live commentary coverage. Gonna be a throw-in here for Switzerland. Right off the bat, 20 seconds in. And again, we're at BC Place, which is, I guess it stands for British Columbia. There's no company affiliation there. Oh, into the box early. Keeper is going to stop that from progressing. And the Swiss with possession at the moment here as we just get underway here in Vancouver. Elvedi to Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, the captain, now sending it to Rodriguez. Now back to the Canadian side here. Switzerland will finish second if this goes to a draw. So if Canada want to win the group, they must hold Switzerland to a draw. It's all they need is a draw, and they will have made national history. Really. Again, hockey is the big thing in Canada. Olympics every 4 years, except for this one. They come away with the gold. But now they're in the World Cup and they're putting up a fight in a way that I don't think anyone expected them to. And so we're going to see Switzerland are ranked 19th in the FIFA World Rankings. Canada are 30th. This is the first competitive match between these two sides, and in the history of Canada-Switzerland matches, Canada won the first one ever, which I imagine would have been a friendly or something, because it said they've never been in a competitive match here. Oh. Bit physical there, as Jacques comes away with the ball, but there is going to be a free kick now for Canada. As we take a look at this once again, Ahmed went down there. And now they'll set up this free kick, and that could be an early chance for Canada right there. Referee has drawn the line from, or the half circle, semicircle, from where this free kick will be taken. And Canada with an early opportunity to go into the lead here. Can they make it pay off? There's the whistle. And it's going to go into the air. Swiss working to clear it away. And out it will go. Throw in here for Sao. Capacity of 54,000 at BC Place. Again, a sea of red. There's some white in the stands as well. Really, this could go either. This could be, you look at a fan in the stadium today from a distance, you don't really have any way of knowing which team they support, which is why I made the lower third on this stream red. But we'll excuse me. We'll see how this goes. Switzerland is in red. Canada is in white. For those of you who, for those of you who, like myself, I just forgot there. But corner kick coming up now. First one of the match. It's going to be Vargas to take it for Switzerland. Headed away. And a roar goes up there, even though it will be a Swiss throw-in. A roar up from this overwhelmingly Canadian crowd in Vancouver, as that one was kept from getting into the box. And Canada, technically speaking, are the away team today. Switzerland are on the left, but we are in Canada, so spiritually speaking, the Canadians are the home side, and Switzerland are one of 4 teams to advance to the knockout stages in the last 3 World Cups. The other 3 are Argentina, Brazil, and France. So you would not necessarily historically expect Switzerland to be in such company, but it appears they are. And that's going to go out. That's going to be a throw in here for the Canadian side. Glad to have you with us here tonight, today, this afternoon, on Ultra Sport. As we see this match get back underway, 6 minutes in, 0-0, as Buchanan now is going to try and get out ahead of Rodriguez. Buchanan signaling at the ref. Now there's going to be a chance, perhaps. It looked like it, but just as I say that, Swiss defense able to get it out. Man down for Canada. I believe it was Ahmed who went down to set up the first free kick of this match. But Switzerland with possession, at the moment at least. Now getting a bit physical. A bit too physical. Which we saw in the England-Ghana game in the early going yesterday as well. Let's take a look at this again. Cornelius just holding Embolo back, tugging on his shirt as he goes down. And we're back to the action here. 2 fouls for either side thus far in the first 7 minutes of this match. Out it will go once again. And the Swiss with possession in their own end. Canada hoping, looking to put on a bit of pressure here. And again, Canada only need a draw to win the group here today. If they hold Switzerland to a draw, it will be unprecedented success for Canada here to win the group, to move on to the knockout stage, and such a prestigious position to be able to say that. Absolutely historic for this nation. Just what they've done so far, you know? Because these things are relative. Canada is not a nation that has had great success in the sport of soccer. Before this, and they qualified because they were hosts, but before this they had qualified for 2 previous World Cups, 1986 and 2022. And in either tournament, they failed to win a single game. They just got their first World Cup win against Qatar, 6-0. 6-0 in that battle between the 2 nations that have hosted the last 2 World Cups. And yes, I am counting current as part of that. But it's historic for Canada, what we're seeing so far. And one wonders, how far can they truly go? Will they hold on in the knockout stages? Will they get to the round of 16? Will they get to the quarterfinals? Who knows? Anything could happen. Unlikely, perhaps, but not impossible. Canada have risen to the occasion in this tournament thus far, with the honor of being hosts, as Monzambi is going to go down, and they are certainly putting on quite a performance. I'm reminded of Australia in the Women's World Cup, the most recent one in 2023, when they were in the semifinal against England. Millions of people tuned in, and it was the most watched sports broadcast in the country's history, as the Swiss advanced into the box. Canada's defense able to get this away. But as I was saying, England versus Australia, there's obviously history there just inherently because the Ashes in cricket. But, millions of people tuned into it. It was bigger viewership for that Women's World Cup semifinal than any cricket match, than any AFL match, than any, gonna be a chance here, gonna be a chance here, gonna be a chance here. But Abel Rodriguez took the shot, and a massive roar here as Canada successfully defend their goal. And BC Place, it sounds, at least to me, like the crowd is peaking the mic. They are loud here in Vancouver. Embolo took the shot, and then there was a reinforcement, but he couldn't get through either. Still 0-0. Free kick from the keeper. Away we go once again as it's cleared away. Into the air, sent up by... Oh, now a chance maybe. No. Gonna be a stoppage. Luc de Fougerolles sent it into the air momentarily. Flag goes up. So we will have a bit of a restart here. Switzerland with the ball as we get back underway. 2 shots, 1 on target. The Swiss have completed 78 passes. And for those of you following the Bosnia and Herzegovina game, it is 0-0 as they take on Qatar as Group B. I've been saying Group C, I apologize. Group B wraps up here today. Switzerland in their own end, trying to regroup here perhaps. Elvedi. Slow pace now as he gives it to Xhaka. Elvedi will send it into the air, but headed away. And every time that Canada's defense steps in, there's this, there's... Oh, now there's going to be a chance. Now there's going to be a chance. One-on-one. One-on-one. Oh, my! Canada with their first chance of this match. Oh, Larin got out, and he was one-on-one against the keeper, and it looked like he very well could have broken through. There is offside, I believe. Akanji now speaking to the ref. Excuse me. But I guess offside there, but wow. We will, oh, there was a collision there. And it was offside. So the 1v1 there, less exciting than I made it out to be, I suppose. As we are back to action here. Again, Canada will win the group today. It's 0-0 at the moment, right? And we've got a lot of time to go. But Canada will win the group if they can hold Switzerland to a draw today. And, oh, man down. momentarily there. The last time these two sides met, I have it now, was an international friendly on May 15th, 2002. It was in Switzerland, but the Canadians came away with the win. And can they repeat that, perhaps? Again, Switzerland is a nation, is a side with a lot more pedigree in this sport than Canada. That's obvious to anyone, you know. That's obvious to anyone. Canada is a hockey nation and a curling nation. As oh, bit of a shove there. Bit of a shove there from Hackes. And consider for Switzerland, what does it mean if they can't overcome Canada here today? Again, it's all pedigree. It's all history. It's the fact that that Switzerland are miles more a footballing nation than Canada are. And, you know, can they overcome them? We'll see. Canadians had possession there. It was blocked, but now it's going to be another throw-in here for Canada. Canada in white once again. Laurier will get the throw-in. Now in the Swiss box. They're able to get it out of there. But the Canadians still fighting. As we'll see a race to the ball now. We'll see a race to the ball now. Getting out ahead. It is Manzambi. But nothing will come of it. Manzambi went up against Laurier there. And again, that, what a chance that was. Oh, and Mbolo took a shot. We didn't see it on the broadcast. They were showing replays. But the save is made. Canada now under heavy pressure in their own end, trying to get a moment to regroup here. But the Swiss are not interested in giving them such a moment. They're going to have to fight without thinking here. Now into Switzerland's half of the field. Trying to... Oh. Man down once again. Canada trying to set up a chance there. Free kick. Well, no. De Fougerolles. Now we'll have the free kick. Back underway. Not much of a... No, oh. Now we're going to see Rodriguez reprimanded by the referee. And Mbolo will see this because the Fox broadcast did not show it. They were showing replays. Mbolo took a good shot, but it went right to the keeper. And Buchanan went down at the hands of Rodriguez moments ago. Switzerland 7 fouls today. Canada only 3. And now Canada getting set up for a free kick. Here we go. These fans throughout BC Place rising to their feet. Into the box. And now, Lorin right there with the keeper. Keeper came down on the ball and was able to make the save. But that may very well have been the best chance that Canada's had all day if that one-on-one Lorin had earlier was offside. And again, later on today, Scotland take on Brazil as Morocco battle Haiti. Buchanan with the throw-in for Canada. Now the Swiss side getting a luxury that Canada, well, not entirely, but a luxury that Canada did not completely have earlier. Canada are putting on pressure. Oh, Lorin got a bit too close for comfort there with the keeper. And now trying to prevent Switzerland from getting an opening. We are 20 minutes in here at BC Place in Vancouver. 0-0 still between Switzerland and Canada on the last day of Group B action in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Canada with possession again. De Fougerolles trying to find a way through here. Heavy pressure applied by Switzerland. Makes the pass. And now Canada did get into the opposite end, but out it will go. Switzerland have had 50% of possession today. Canada have had 41, and 9% of it has been in contest. So this is a very even matchup, and it could go either way as we get a glimpse of Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, in attendance for this one. Again, for Canada, this is massive. This is a chance to shine on a world stage, a world stage that's different from Olympic hockey, which is something that the world has known this nation for. And hold on. Flag goes up. Excuse me. Ice hockey, obviously, something this nation has been known for. Curling, things like that. But could there be, not now, certainly not now, they just got their first World Cup win. Could there be 10, 20, 30 years down the line, a Canadian renaissance, perhaps, in soccer? We are going to go to the hydration break. We are 22 minutes in. Excuse me. First hydration break of this match has begun, and it is 0-0 between Switzerland and Canada. And I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you watching out there, you can scan that QR code right on the screen, send a super chat. We want to hear your opinion on the action today. Do you think Canada is going to come away with the win? Do you think it's going to be a draw? Do you think Switzerland will be victors today? Again, Canada only need a draw to go into the knockout. Sorry, not to go into the knockout stages, to win the group, to have that pride of having won the group, and it will be a very, very historic moment for Canada if they are indeed able to pull that out. We'll see if they can do it here as we continue to bring you our live commentary, watch-along coverage of this FIFA World Cup match between Canada and Switzerland. And we hope you have enjoyed our coverage so far. Just waiting for the hydration break to come to its conclusion here. And commercials, seen by many as a travesty, a disgrace upon the sport of football. It is rather American, I suppose, to have commercials. Try watching the NFL. That's why I don't watch the NFL. Way too much, way too many stoppages. But we are back. We're coming back on the air. 24 minutes in between Switzerland and Canada here in Vancouver. players making their way out here. If this goes to a draw today, Canada will be atop the group. Both Canada and Switzerland will have 5 points to their name. And we'll have a free kick now. Or maybe not. Looks like it. Yes, we will have a Canadian free kick to get this one back underway here in Group B of the World Cup. Away we go. Once again, Cornelius takes the kick to resume the action here. Canada trying to find a path through into Switzerland's box, trying to make a move that will bring them into the lead here. This is going to come to Laryea. Out it will go, and now Canadian corner kick is coming up in a matter of moments. Glad to have you with us here. Oh, sorry, not a corner kick. My apologies for that mistake. Switzerland being pressured by Canada here. And it's a good performance we're seeing there by Lorin, who has flown in and taken multiple opportunities today. As we've got a bit of a situation here, a couple players down. Oof. Vargas down for Switzerland. And here come the trainers. Vargas and Johnston got a bit of a collision. The trainers will come out here. And that's going to lead us to another stoppage here in this Group B match. Throw in, and away we go once again. Swiss in their own end. Into the air this will go. Comes down to the head of Embolo. Now the Canadians are going to prevent Switzerland from moving any further, but that is going to lead to a throw-in as the ball goes out. Oof. He gets right back up. And now Canada looking to set something up. Buchanan goes down. Now there's going to be a dispute with the referee, it seems. Buchanan flew down there, but they've given up that chance. Switzerland back with possession. Switzerland have taken 3 shots. Canada have had 1. Canada's shot was on target. 2 out of 3 for Switzerland in that respect. Possession back to Canada as Johnston intercepts it with his head. Bit of a battle here, or that was. Now the Swiss reassert themselves, going back and forth in their own end. Freuler. Interception. Canada now looking to start a charge. Loren. Ahmed is up there. Oh. Slide there by Buchanan. It'll be another goal kick for Switzerland as they restart in their own end. Coming up on 30 minutes into this one, between Switzerland and Canada in Group B of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Glad to have you with us here, as it is 0-0 at the moment between these two sides. Oh, that's going to bring us to a halt. Oh, come on now. What was that? What was that? Obvious dive by Laren, and now we're going to see a bit of a brawl. Not a brawl, but a scuffle. Everyone's coming over. They're getting into it as Laren obviously fakes something. And you just wonder, you know, we like professional wrestling on this channel, but you wonder how much of this is fixed. It initially looked fake. It's at least been oversold. Chaka and Laren are being called over by the ref here. Yellow card for each man. Yellow card for each man. That was an oversell. I don't know if he touched him. Maybe he did, but I don't know there. In any case, we are going to get back underway with Switzerland taking a free kick. Backs up quite a bit there, but it's a fake out. Chaka receives a yellow card as we get Canadians are going to get back possession here. Now there's going to be a chance. Perhaps the best chance they've had all day. Laren takes the shot. He doesn't have enough momentum. He doesn't have the angle, the way through, and it goes right to the keeper. But it was a good chance for the Canadians. But of course, close but no cigar. You know, close only counts, as they say in horseshoes and hand grenades. Again, if Canada holds Switzerland to a draw here today, it will be they will win the group. And an update on Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar. It's 1-0 in favor of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Again, but I'll say it again. If Canada get a draw here, they will win the group. Switzerland now rushing up. Embolo was there, but the save is made by Canada's keeper, Crepeau. And now Switzerland in their own end. And I think, because I have the ESPN updates on my laptop here, we might be a bit behind on our coverage. I apologize if that's true. Maybe there's a tape delay or something, but in any case, we're going to keep this going. Canada putting on pressure in the Swiss box. Now this will be sent away by Jacques. Oh. Man down for Canada there. Coming up on halftime here between Switzerland and Canada. And again, if you want to make your voice heard, send us a super chat, send us a message. You'll get your message read out on this stream, and all you must do is scan that QR code. As we see Switzerland trying to find a way through here. bit physical there with Embolo. Into the air now, and that is going to bounce out as Vargas and Johnston chase after it. Back underway. So, Akanji. Kanji again, now sends it to Elvedi. Switzerland maybe trying to rebuild something in their own end here. Got about 10 minutes to go before halftime here between Switzerland and Canada. Into the air and down at the feet of Hakes. Now and below goes down in the box. Couldn't find a way to steady himself. Johnston is going to clear it away, but now we have a whistle. No contact, it's said. And Bosnia and Herzegovina have just scored once again. They're now up 2-0 against Qatar. Throw in here. Oh, down goes Embolo. Once again, as well as Embolo, my apologies for the mispronunciation, as well as Laryea. Embolo and Laryea both go down there. Oh. As we see it on the replay, both faces in agony as they go down there. 8 fouls for Switzerland, 6 for Canada today. Now the referee is going to restore some order here. Free kick for Switzerland coming up. Chance to go into the lead now for the Swiss side. It is going to be Akanji who takes the kick. No, it's not. It's going to be Xhaka. And he'll just send it over the crossbar. Nothing there. Put way too much power on that. But it does elicit the joy of these Canadian fans. It's got to be an overwhelmingly Canadian crowd here today. Sea of red, which again could be either team. That's why I made the lower third red for this broadcast card. But it's most assuredly. Mark Carney is in attendance. The Prime Minister of Canada showing up for this match. It's most assuredly a very one-sided crowd here as Switzerland try to move through here. Manzambi, quite harangued there. Goes down as the ball goes out. Switzerland have controlled 55% of the possession. Canada 38%. 7% of it in contest. And again, if this goes to a draw, Canada will win the group and Switzerland will finish second. Canada need a win or a draw to have the honor of having won Group B here today. As we come to the conclusion of this 2026 World Cup group stage. Now Switzerland trying to make something happen. Or sorry, Canada trying to make something happen. Ahmed. I wonder how many times I've made that mistake. My apologies. Ahmed went down at the hands of Freuler. Free kick now coming up for Canada. 5 minutes, give or take, of course, stoppage time remaining in this first half. Chouanier. to take the free kick. Send into the air towards the box. Canadians retain possession. Ahmed went down pretty roughly there. Had Vargas just fall on top of him there. As we cross 40 minutes. 0-0 between Switzerland and Canada. 40 minutes in to this World Cup match. Group B finishing up here today at BC Place in about an hour. We're an hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes. We're gonna know all the results here as Canada now look for a chance. Shot is taken, but saved. Ahmed had the opportunity, but now there's going to be a corner kick for Canada. And the Canadians now with, if not the best chance they've had all match, the best chance they've had in a while. Just then. And now, with this corner, what can they do? Trying to finish out this half with the lead are Canada. A sea of red watches on in BC Place. The suspense mounts. Chouanier will send it into the air towards the box, and it's headed away. Chased down nonetheless. Laurier looking to find a way through for Canada. Laurier can't seem to make anything happen there. Into the air now. It's going to come down to Buchanan. Buchanan very pressured here. Is there a way to get through this? I don't think there is. Switzerland take back possession, but not for long. Crepeau is going to step in there and get the ball back for Canada. Goalkeeper swoops in. Chouanier now. Ahmed. Saliba. Chouanier. Saliba again. Canada fighting here. Looking to find a way through. Johnston. Johnston. Oh. Cleared away. And now the Swiss. Oh, re-establishing control. And now de Fougerolles has gone down holding his leg. Holding his knee. Oof. Just a couple of minutes to go here. Of course, we will have stoppage time. Halftime coming up. Switzerland at that slow pace once more. Things have calmed down a bit. But now they're not going to be calm. Canada get the ball back. Now there's a chance. Now there is a chance! Ahmed saw the opportunity. Just sent it to the left there. Switzerland with control of the ball as we wait to see how much stoppage time will be added on to this one. Halftime coming up in a matter of moments here. Gotta be at least a couple minutes because you gotta factor in the very controversial hydration break. Ooh. Chaka. Out it goes, and Rodriguez with the throw-in. 4 minutes added on. 4 minutes remaining for stoppage time here between Switzerland and Canada. Jaquez. Again, 4 minutes added on. So glad that you have joined us for our World Cup coverage. Out it goes. And Switzerland into Canada's end now. Hoping maybe to find a way to score before halftime hits. Ball goes into the air. And that is going to be a corner kick for the Swiss as it goes out. Again, we are in stoppage time here. Vargas is going to take his time moving over to the corner. Here we go. Vargas headed away, but it doesn't stay with Canada for long. Crepeau is there to prevent any further attempts here from Switzerland. Meanwhile, it's 2-1 in favor of Bosnia and Herzegovina over Qatar here. Again, Canada need a win or a draw today. Take home the first place title in Group B here. If the results hold as they are, Canada and Switzerland will each have 5 points. Bosnia and Herzegovina will have 4, and Qatar will have 1. Xhaka, who received the yellow card earlier today. Swiss trying to keep this within their end, or they were. Throw in now from Cornelius to give Canada control once again. Ahmed. Switzerland getting the ball back here. Xhaka. Xhaka again. Embolo. He's going to look for a way through. Embolo. Oh. David got out in front. He goes down. And now we come to these final few seconds, ostensibly, of the first half. It is 0-0 so far. Each side still looking for that first goal. Crepeau with a big kick to take us to halftime. 0-0 between Switzerland and Canada here at the end of the first half. As we will see how things shake out in the next 90 minutes. We are going to take a little bit of a break here, or I am going to play some music while I step out for a moment. When we come back, we'll have our halftime analysis And then we will wait for this second half to get underway. Stay tuned to Ultrasport as we bring you our live commentary coverage of the FIFA World Cup. So we are back live here as we bring you our commentary coverage of Switzerland versus Canada in this FIFA World Cup. And halftime has begun. And we're going to take a look around here. Bosnia and Herzegovina are taking on Qatar as we speak. They would be in halftime as well. Going to pull up the score here. 2-1 in favor of Bosnia and Herzegovina against Qatar. So they've had a bit more excitement, so to speak, than this Switzerland-Canada match. But we are they're showing actually highlights of that match on the Fox broadcast right now. So this is, we are back doing live streams. We haven't done a live stream in a month, but we're hoping to bring this back. We're hoping to focus the channel on this. I was in Europe for about 2.5 weeks, so really didn't get a chance to stream, although I did upload some things from the Monaco Grand Prix. So we will again still wait for halftime to proceed. There's not much to talk about with regards to this this Canada-Switzerland match, except, of course, there is the context of all of this. They called it, at the beginning of this broadcast, the biggest match in Canadian soccer history, and that is no understatement. Canada, again, it's a draw right now, so it is 0-0, or it's a tie right now, I should say. If they hold Switzerland to a draw, Canada will win the group, and that is something that I don't think any Canadian soccer fan could have imagined in, 4, 8, 12 years ago. Canada have only qualified for 2 World Cups previously, and those were 1986 and 2022, and we're actually going to take a look at their history competing in this tournament. 1986, they placed 24th. And for context, 1986 was a time when the World Cup had 24 teams. 2022, they placed 31st. And, this is, right, obviously both times they came last in the group, and it was a group stage thing, and, it wasn't like all 24 teams were playing against each other in a league thing. But if you take all of them and you rank them, right, if you were to seed this, Canada would have been the bottom seed in 1986 and the second to worst seed in 2022 if this were, a March Madness single elimination thing. 24th and 31st. And now they're on the verge of progressing to the knockout stage for the first time in history, not only progressing to the knockout stage, but winning the group against Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. And Switzerland is really the big one there, the biggest one, because we're going to take a look at Switzerland at the FIFA World Cup here. They have, let's see, competed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 World Cups. Again, I've got a Wikipedia thing pulled up here on my laptop. 1934, 1938, they made the quarterfinals, as well as 1954, which was hosted, mind you, in Switzerland. They have not gotten to the quarterfinals since 1954, but they have made the round of 16 in the past 3 World Cups. And the other 3 nations to do that were Argentina, Brazil, and France. Switzerland have an astounding pedigree in this sport, and they are set up to, they will progress to the knockout round with a draw here today. And again, Canada need a win or a draw to take home the group. But this is something massive for Canadian soccer. This is something that has never been seen before, and I think that it is something that, portrays the future. I think this will start a new era of Canadian soccer. There are people saying that, there are going to be kids in the United States who are watching Team USA compete at the World Cup, and that they'll be motivated to pick up the sport as well. Of course, the United States have stunned everyone with their performance so far in this World Cup. They've won their group, and they're up against Paraguay, Turkey, and Australia. Not the easiest group in the world. So, yeah, it's a bit of a revolution for the United States and Canada. And we are waiting for this one to resume. We're going to take a bit of a break once again as we hold on and wait for the second half to begin here. You're listening to the Ultrasport Network, the hottest network on either hemisphere. Switzerland versus Canada, set to resume very, very soon. And we are back. Just waiting here for the action to resume between Canada and Switzerland in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is 0-0 going into the second half between these two sides as Group B comes to its end here. Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar, the other match in Group B, has a 2-1 scoreline in favor of the Bosnians at the moment, and we are waiting now for this one to resume. Glad to have you with us here on Ultra Sports as we bring you our live commentary coverage. We are back. Fox is back, that is. And that means that we are getting set, ostensibly getting set, to resume this match. And indeed, we are more than ready, in fact. 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. There is the kickoff. We are back underway. They didn't even show the teams coming back out. Switzerland 0, Canada 0. Here in Group B of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Glad to have you with us here today as the Swiss have possession to start things off here. Moving up now. Looking for an opening. Embolo. Now a chance. Shot is taken. Shot is made. And there is the first goal of this match. It is Vargas. It is Vargas. Ruben Vargas. To put Switzerland into the lead. Not even a single minute into this second half. And as the music plays through BC Place, they are singing, but it's Freed from Desire. And maybe that sea of red is less Canadian than I earlier imagined it to be. 1-0. Switzerland have taken the lead, 1-0. And Canada, who were hoping they can still do it with a draw. Right? This is far from over. This is, in fact, only halfway through its course, but there's a lot of disappointed Canadian fans at the moment. But it does remind one, you know, this is the pedigree, right? This is Canada, historically not a footballing nation. Switzerland, on the other hand, they hosted the World Cup in 1954. They got to the quarterfinals of that tournament. You know, Argentina, Brazil, France, and the fourth nation to have made the knockout round in the last 3 World Cups is Switzerland. So, again, pedigree. Again, Switzerland up 1-0. Thanks to a goal from Vargas. And there you go. Canada on the back foot. Bosnia and Herzegovina coming back from halftime against Qatar. They're up 2-1 in the other Group B match of the day. We've got to look at the live standings. Switzerland would win the group as it stands here today if the results hold. Canada would still move through because, excuse me, they would have 4 points. They'd be above Bosnia and Herzegovina. But It's not the result they wanted, but it is a bit of a humbling reminder, really, that Canada, historically, has not been a soccer nation. Will they, well, no, this is, I'm making a bigger deal out of this than it is. They're still in the World Cup. I was going to say something along the lines of will they perform better in 2030, but they've still got that passage into the knockout stages. They've got a chance to shine there, and we'll see what they do then. But and still, you know, it's not nearly close. It's not even close to the end here. So we'll see how this unfolds as the action continues here. I apologize if I'm a bit distant, just trying to promote this a little bit more. But 1-0 as we cross 50 minutes in this match. Again, for those of you just joining us, Ruben Vargas has put Switzerland into the lead 1-0 here in this FIFA World Cup Group B match. Final match day of Group B, and they keep mentioning here a lot of excuse me, a lot of supporters still making their way back. I can see as I look here there are quite a few empty seats, and they'll have come back to quite a surprise. Into the air. Oh. Bit of a check there. As Johnston goes down. He'll set up for a free kick here. Trying to find the best way through. He keeps stepping up and then changing his mind. Clears it into the air, and Ahmed chasing it down. Laryea pursuing it. And this will be a goal kick for Switzerland. Out goes the ball. We see a replay on the Fox feed of this opening goal. Excuse me. Throw in here from Laryea. As Canada look to make something happen here. No. Pressure applied by Buchanan on the keeper, but he's able to clear it away in time. Trying to chase it down here. Oh! It was Vargas getting into a bit of a high collision there. Doesn't seem to be any action taken as Jaquez looked a bit threatening there around the box. Glad to have you with us here on Ultrasport as we bring you our live World Cup coverage. Rodriguez setting up for the throw-in for Switzerland. That's going to go out. Throw in now from Jaquez. Out goes the ball once again. Haka's still in there competing for possession, as it had clearly gone out, and now they're just going to give the ball back to Canada. Not good placement at all there for that throw-in. Canada with possession now. De Fougerolles sends it to Buchanan. Excuse me. Vargas is going to try and chase it down. Trying to set up the restart here is Akanji. And away we go. Pressure applied there by Laren. Now Cornelius is going to chase it down. Ooh. Monzambi got in his way a bit there. Up goes the flag. Back underway. Canadians with possession here. 1-0. 55 minutes in here between Switzerland and Canada in Group C of the 2026. Sorry, not Group C, Group B. I keep calling it Group C for whatever reason. But we are in Group B. Switzerland versus Canada on the last match day for Groups A, B, and C. Buchanan here. Now to Saliba. Cornelius. Ahmed. Sends it into the box. Oh! Just bounced shy of the goal there. I think he was trying to get it to Larin, but it almost got all the way. We'll see this again on the Fox broadcast. If it had just bounced a little bit before, it actually did. And now, chance maybe for Embolo, setting something up. There is the second goal! There is the second goal for Switzerland! Monzambi is the man to put into the back of the net. And Switzerland now have an insurance goal against Canada. And Canadian fans all around Vancouver left astonished, as now things get seemingly insurmountable, and Switzerland seem on the verge of winning the group. They're about 40 minutes away from doing just that, from a victory in the standings of Group B. As we see this again. And again, you know, this is a radio-type broadcast, but they're showing the replay on the Fox coverage. Monzambi, the man, to put it past Crepeau again. 2-0. Switzerland scoring 2 goals in the first 12 or so minutes of this second half. And I earlier said that this sea of red in the Vancouver stands, perhaps a mostly Canadian crowd, but we're seeing a lot of Swiss fans in the stands. It seems as though I was wrong. Canada falling behind here as we see a couple of substitutions. Canada falling behind very rapidly. Chouanier, Ahmed, and Larin come off. They are replaced by Eustachio, Miller, and Oluwasei. 3 substitutions made for Canada. Switzerland have not made one. They have all 5 remaining here. Again, 2-0. Vargas, the first man to put one on the board for Switzerland, and then it was Monzambi moments ago, following in his stead. And now Vargas trying to get into the box here. His efforts are thwarted by Crepeau, but oh, Buchanan down. But the question is, truly down or playing at being down? We'll see it. We'll see this again. Embolo crashed into him, elbow to the lower back. Again, if this result holds, Canada will still move through to the knockout stages, but it'll be Switzerland to win the group. Canada have never made it. Excuse me. Canada have never made it into the knockout stages of a World Cup before. So this is nonetheless going to be very big. Final group stage match here in Group B. We're coming up on 60 minutes. Coming up on an hour of action here between Switzerland and Canada. The Canadians still will be trying to mount a comeback for these last 30 minutes, but I've been talking about throughout this broadcast, you know, the concept of pedigree. Switzerland is a footballing nation. Canada, not so much. Their thing is more ice hockey and what have you. So, Switzerland favored going into this one. I checked on Polymarket, and it looks like those odds are going to be true as this goes out. Scotland set to take on Brazil. Excuse me. Scotland set to take on Brazil later on tonight. We've also got Czechia battling Mexico and South Africa taking on South Korea. Tomorrow, Curacao takes on the Ivory Coast as Ecuador battles Germany. Tunisia against the Netherlands, as well as Japan versus Sweden. And finishing things out in prime time, it's Paraguay versus Australia and Turkey versus the United States, as this is punched away by the keeper now. Friday, Senegal take on Iraq as Norway battle France. Uruguay versus Spain in prime time, as well as Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia. New Zealand versus Belgium and Egypt versus Iran will round things out late at night. And then the final day of the group stage, Saturday, Panama take on England as Croatia battle Ghana. Colombia versus Portugal. DR Congo versus Uzbekistan. Jordan versus Argentina. And Algeria versus Austria. As everything will be decided, and we'll see who goes where in the knockout stages. Excuse me. Switzerland. Oh my! Oh my! Saliba just crashes in to Xhaka there. Xhaka received a yellow card earlier today, but now he's on the receiving end of a bit of aggression. Keeper, let's take the free kick and get us back underway. Switzerland in their own end, trying to maybe mount a drive here, but ball is going to be taken by De Fougerolles as Canada take back possession. Saliba getting into it. Eustachio, who is, just been subbed on. Now Guerrier is going to go down, and that'll take us to another stoppage. David looking for a chance here, perhaps. Oh, right to the head of Johnston. I don't think that was an intentional header. Bit of lag. Are we going to be back? I think we are. Apologies. Stream dropped out for a little bit there. Are we back? Okay, I think we're on a bit of a tape delay. I don't know how to fix that, but well, yeah, we're on a bit of a tape delay, so all right, we'll see. You know, this is going to be a bit delayed, and I had a suspicion that we were already a bit delayed, but we're going to continue the stream despite what just happened. Dropped out for a moment there. I hope it catches up, but in any case, we've got about 25 minutes, give or take, 30, to go in this match between Switzerland and Canada. Brazil versus Scotland. Probably the most highly anticipated match of the day coming up after this. We got a man down on the field. They don't seem to be paying much attention as the Swiss players cry out. The crowd cries out, and it is Manzambi, the scorer, who is down at the moment. Ref is going to come over to him. Oh. Got into it with Laurier. As we, you know, I'm just going to shoot from the hip here. As I see that replay, as he went down, he seemed fine. He sat up, he raised his arm as though to call, hey, attention. And then he, you know, flopped over and laid there. Right, we always talk about diving. And I think this may have been a case of that. Only God knows the heart, of course, but I think that may have been a bit of a WWE tryout. Let's just call it that. In any case, we're back underway. We're long since back underway. Canadians with possession. De Fougerolles will send it to Buchanan now, as Canada are very much on the back foot. They're still in a position to move into the knockout stages here, but I think a lot of Canadian fans came into this one with high hopes today, and those hopes have kind of been dashed as they, again, Fox called this at the top of the broadcast the biggest, or before the match started, I should say, the biggest match in the history of Canadian soccer. Absolutely true. They're headed to the knockout stages of a World Cup for the first time ever, and now they might score. Shot taken by David. Block successful as the Swiss managed to hold off their North American opponents from scoring. Eustachio about to take a corner kick for Canada. So they may very well have another chance if they can get this in the right place at the right time. There's the kick. Punched away by the keeper. Saliba getting out in front there. Laurier. Back to Saliba. Oh! Bounced right off of Rodriguez there. Johnston. Throw in here for Canada. Sent it quite a ways into the air. Header by Saliba. Now trying to get into the box. Johnston is going to take the corner kick now. As Vargas conceded it. No, it's not going to be Johnston, it seems. Steps out. And it is going to be Eustaquio to take the corner. Crowd's voice rising into a fevered pitch. There's the kick. Oh. Unable to make anything happen off of that. But Eustaquio now is going to try and find a way through. Now, oh, Embolo was able to block that. Embolo was able to block that from becoming a problem. Miller. Saliba. David. Aurier. As we cross 70 minutes. Here it is still 2-1. Sorry, 2-0 in favor of Switzerland. And now, no, Johnston seemed to have a chance. Oh. Rodriguez is down, clutching his knee, on his knees. And that is going to take us into the second hydration break. We got about 20 minutes of action to go here in this World Cup showdown between Switzerland and Canada. Again, it is 2-0 going into this hydration break, and they're going to go picture-in-picture for this one. Good for them. There's been a lot of controversy about ads interrupting the flow of the broadcasts here as they you know, take every opportunity they have. Of course, it's something that I can understand. I've got a big super chat QR code in the middle of the screen, so money is money. Of course, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, we are coming to the last 20 minutes of this game between Switzerland and Canada, and the Swiss seem to have a pretty good grip on this one, which will lead them into a group win. Canada will still progress to the knockout stages, which is the best result they've ever had so far in a World Cup. And we are going to see Brazil take on Scotland later on tonight. Groups A, B, and C are finishing up here. So we will have the most information about the knockout stages than we've had at all. And in fact, I'm going to go to the bracket right now because I want to see who's going to end up where in the knockout stages. They've turned on the sprinklers. They've turned on the sprinklers here during this hydration break, so I guess the pitch gets to hydrate as well. So Canada, they're going to take on whoever, assuming that the results hold, right? Assuming that Canada finish second and Switzerland win the group, Canada will be taking on, at the moment, it would be South Korea. Mexico are leading Group A. Of course, things can change tonight. Maybe they will. But right now, as it stands, it would be Canada versus South Korea in the knockout stages. As for Switzerland, the winners of Group B, they'll face third place in one of these following groups: E, F, G, I, or J. Group E, third place is Ecuador. F, it's Sweden. G, was G there? Yes, G, it's Belgium. I, it's Senegal. And J is Algeria. As I said earlier, Gianni Infantino would know a lot more about this stuff than I do. I'm just going off of ESPN here, but that is the situation as Group B comes to its end. Let's take a look at Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar. The Bosnians are still in the lead 2-1 as Widmer and Ebischer will come on for Switzerland. I should stop talking about situations and start talking about this game. That is about 15 minutes remaining here. Buchanan comes off for Canada. He'll be replaced by David. Promise David. Away we go once again. Oh. Got a bit physical there. Out goes the ball. Rodriguez with the throw in here for the Swiss. Switzerland 2-0 against Canada at the moment here. And now, a chance for Canada! There is their first goal of this match! Promise David comes on, and he delivers! And it's 2-1! It is 2-1! It is 2-1! And maybe, just maybe, they've got another one in them with about 20 minutes to go. I'm factoring in the stoppage time there. Much rejoicing all around this stadium in Vancouver as Canada put their first goal on the board here. Can they ride that momentum? That is the question. They'll be hoping to. They'll really be hoping to. But is it easier said than done? Again, Canada will win the group with a draw today, which would be an unprecedented success for Canadian football. That anyone can see that from a mile away. They've never made the knockout stages. That in itself is an unprecedented success. But to win the group, that's even better, of course. That's a statement. That's saying something. That's saying that, this is a new era. This is a new era for Canada. This is the future. Yes, we entered as the host. Yes, we qualified automatically. But we are here. We are fighting. We are Canada. And we are maybe, maybe in 100 years, Canada will be a world superpower in this sport. And I say 100 years, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just being realistic. But, 50 years from now, let's say 50 years from now, are Canadians going to look back on this 2026 team? They're not going to win. They're not going to take home the trophy. They're bound to go out at some point. But this team is inspiring the hope of a nation. This team is making a name for Canada on the stage of world soccer. As we've got about 15 to 20 minutes to go. My prediction is 4 minutes of stoppage time again. But we'll see. Canada with a free kick here to be taken by Eustachio. It's a one-man wall. There's a very obvious gap, but can they find what they need? Everyone's going to move once that ball leaves the ground. Where is this going to go? There's the whistle. The kick. And moving forward! Oh! Oh! Cornelius with the header. So unbelievably close. And I think that's going to be a goal kick for Switzerland, so they'll try to reestablish themselves. Again, Canada would win the group with a win or a draw here today. They need one more goal. to have that honor, to make that statement. A statement that has, that I don't think anyone ever thought Canada would ever make. Not for a long time, at least. Vargas comes off to be replaced by Ndoye. And maybe, maybe there's a home field advantage, right? If this were taking place in England, right? But everything was the same, except, of course, I suppose England would be in Group A instead of Mexico. If this were taking place in England or some other country, would Canada still have had that success? That's a question that's always going to be on the minds of everyone that analyzes this, and the answer is probably yes. You're used to this, and in 2030, what are we going to see from Canada? I know that's not something that you really want to talk about right now, that you really want to bring up right now, because they've still got matches to play. They've still got time. They've still got action that's going to unfold. But my question is basically with that 2030 thing, is the difference in the program, or is it just, oh, we played at home, we got lucky, and we made history, and now it's 2030, we're in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, and we're out in the group stage again. We're eliminated, we finished last. Again, Canada finished last in the group stage at every, they finished last in their group at the previous 2 World Cups they've competed in. They're moving on to the knockout stages for the first time in the country's history. And if they can score another goal within these next 10 minutes or so, they'll have done so winning the group. So, we're going to see. We'll just have to wait and see. And Switzerland are going to do everything they can to avoid that humiliation, because it would be a humiliation when you see, this country that has been, again, I've been talking throughout this broadcast about the concept of pedigree, right? Switzerland hosted the World Cup in 1954. It's very obviously a footballing nation, although it's not always what you think of when you think of a footballing nation, but it is there. It's actually the headquarters for, the home of the headquarters for FIFA and UEFA. Although that is irrelevant to skill, because everywhere is headquartered in Switzerland. WEF, every sporting organization, But Switzerland, their best finish in the World Cup has been the quarterfinals. They have history, they have pedigree. And to be held to a draw by Canada today would be a check on that pride. And what will we see in these last 10 minutes? Will the Swiss hold on and keep that pedigree relatively clear? Or will Canada pull off a shocker in these last few minutes? High throw in there. Again, if this result holds, Switzerland wins the group. If they get held to a draw today by some unprecedented last-minute Canadian goal, then Canada will win the group for something amazing that's never been seen before in their history. Promise David is going to move up, who scored the first goal here. He put a bit of pressure on the goalkeeper, but the keeper is able to overcome. Excuse me. couple of substitutions here for Switzerland. Fastnacht to come in for Embolo. And Itten to come in for number 9 there, who is Manzambi. Throw in here as Canada look for that opening. Ooh. Cleared away. De Fougerolles chases it as it goes out. And I hope that we're still good here. I think we are. And Bosnia and Herzegovina have scored another goal. Ermin Mamic makes it 3-1 in the 80th minute. And just an update on that game. Canada looking for that equalizer as the minutes tick away here in Group B of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Glad that you've joined us here today for our live World Cup coverage. Oh, Krapo's a bit out there. Fastnacht. A bit far out. Two-one again, the scoreline here with just a few more minutes to play. Canada looking for some last-ditch effort to make this a draw, to make history, and to win the group. Miller with the ball at the moment. Miller sends it back in, and that's going to be a corner. Canada will have a corner coming up now. In what is a pivotal moment, Eustachio steps up to take that corner. Here we go, into the air. Headed away. Ooh, pulling on the shirt there a bit. That's going to attract a red card for Miller. As we see this again. Ooh. Pulls on the shirt of Ndoye. Doesn't seem to care much because, you know, you're playing for your nation. You're fighting to make history here. Canada have already made history because they're going to go through to the knockout round. Oh. Again, if this result holds, Switzerland win Group B and Canada finish second, but with a win or a draw, the Canadians would win the group. Canada with possession at the moment. Cornelius. Now, Schaffelberg. Johnston. Out it goes. Throw in. Oh. That's going to bring this to a stoppage. Quick free kick taken by De Fougerolles. No thought to that. It's just a short pass. They want to keep the momentum going. Johnston. Now to De Fougerolles. Oh. Fougerolles goes down. And that's going to be intercepted by Rodriguez. Just a few minutes remaining. Canada trying to do anything they can here. Oh. David will go down, and that'll set up a free kick. Coming up on 90 here. Can they make this a goal in stoppage time, perhaps? Free kick coming up for Canada. Into the air. Now that's going to be kicked out of the box, but it'll be a throw in here for Canada. Schaffelberg to do the actual throwing. Sends it close to the box. Schaffelberg again here. Looking for a cross. Or Canada. Now a bit physical from Oluwase. Canada sort of throwing caution to the wind here, as 6 minutes of stoppage time are added on. And I feel something in the atmosphere. I may be wrong, but 6 minutes. It's a lot of time when we're, relatively speaking, when we're talking about stoppage time. 6 minutes is a lot of time to make something happen. And they just had a chance there. Oh my. What a match this has been. And now 6 minutes remaining here between Switzerland and Canada. 2-1. Into the air this will go. Switzerland and Canada each have had 45% of the possession here. 10% of it in contest throughout the course of this match. Canada have taken more shots, 9-6. Both sides have had 4 shots on target. Switzerland have completed more passes. Bit physical there. Oh! They're going all out in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Everything on the line. Well, not everything on the line, but positioning in the knockout stage is on the line. Neither side is going to be eliminated here, but and think on the other side of things, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar, both sides know that they're gonna go home. I suppose it's all about making one last big impression. As now a chance was set up there, out it's gonna go, and I think will be a throw-in for Canada. I didn't see who got the last touch. Will be a throw-in for the Canadians. They have no time to waste. Johnston firing up the crowd here. There's the throw-in. And now, oh! Oh! That wasn't even intentional. Off the back of Promise David, who scored the first goal. Keeper comes down and makes the save, but Canada almost had it there. What a match this has been. Now headed away by Johnston. 3 minutes to go here in this match. Out goes the ball. Throw in now. Oh. Manager sends it right back. No time to waste here for Canada. Eustachio with the cross. Oh. Did it stay in? Throw in. Canadians are rushing. There's a pace to this. Johnston, however, is going to wait a bit for this throw-in with just 2 minutes to go. As high as he can get it. It goes into the box. Johnston again. Cross. A bit high. Keeper makes the catch. And that may be it. Canada will still move on to the knockout stages. But I think it's going to be a group win here for Switzerland. They're still going to fight. But the chances to do so are dwindling. Ball in Canada's end now. De Fougerolles. Into the air. They're going to make one last push for this. They're going to make one last push for this. Miller. Schaffelberg. Now into the box. Oh! Save is still made. Save is still made. And Canada have put up a very good fight. And they almost had that goal. They're going to still try. Out it goes and in a good position as well. Throw in coming up. Crowd fires up once more. Throw in. High. 20 seconds to go. Into the air. Into the box. And he trips over the keeper in one final effort. And the seconds will tick away to pave the way for a Swiss win in Vancouver. Final whistle coming up here. Canada took every chance that was available to them in the last minutes of this match, but in the end, it is not enough. And the final whistle will blow. Boos reign throughout Vancouver's BC Place as Switzerland win Group B and Canada finish second. Canada will not be able to play their knockout games coming up in Vancouver. Instead, they will have to go down to LA in California as Switzerland top the group and move on with them to the knockout stages. Switzerland win Group B here. Meanwhile, there are a few minutes to go between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Qatar. And I said that I apologize. I wasn't aware of the last, I said both Bosnia and Herzegovina and Qatar would have to go home. I apologize. Qatar most certainly are going to have to go home. But Bosnia and Herzegovina have a chance to make it through. But at the end of regulation, what am I saying? It's only regulation. It's the group stage. At the end of action here between Canada and Switzerland, it is Switzerland 2, Canada 1, the final score in this match to decide who wins Group B. We thank you for having tuned in to our coverage of the FIFA World Cup here on Ultrasport. We hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you did. And with that, we are going to say goodbye and good night. Again, Switzerland win Group B. Canada finish second. Thank you for watching.